Hello. Can you hear how thirsty Minx is? Here on Friday, November 22nd. She's going for it. It's like 5:15. I just got home about 15-ish minutes ago, 15-ish minutes ago. Stayed at Parks and Rec until about 4:30 today. Ended up running trash toward the middle part of the day and doing some extensive, because there wasn't really much else to do. So we're going around getting the trash from the parks and cleaning up kind of the side of the road a little bit, up the street kind of from the parks. And like out at Cave Hollow, Peter was getting trash from like the tree line and stuff. Of course, it was already 4 o'clock at that point, so it's kind of like, hey, it's like quitting time. So, and then we were at the bottom of Cave Hollow Park, because then there's like we could have probably skipped the ball field. There's a ball field in between the bottom where the playground is and the top of the hill where the dog park is. I guess there's another little playground in the middle there. There's like an inclusive playground out there for like handicapped children to play as well. But it has the coolest equipment, so like everybody goes there to play. Has birthday parties there all the time. That was some of the trash that was in the cans from the pavilion was, I could tell it was a birthday party because there was like, one of those plastic containers with the cake where you try to open it at 2 o'clock in the morning and it sounds like a fucking bomb went off. I was like, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to get this cake. And it's like, BLAM! Somebody's getting motherfucking cake! But luckily, I live by myself. I don't have to worry about disturbing anybody. So, but yeah, we still had to, we were at the bottom of the hill of Cave Hollow. And I was like, we could have probably skipped the ballpark. There's water in the cans because of the rain, but other than that, there wasn't really much trash. And of course, getting the, because it's warm, so people were hanging out at the dog park. So, getting the trash by the dog park and then dumping, because we actually had a pretty full load, surprisingly. But I guess the weather had kind of been good for a day there or so. So there's people utilizing the parks, hanging out, getting that last gasp of summer in before it's done and over, I guess. So I was going to go to Wendy's today because our local Wendy's is having a fundraiser. I want to try the mushroom bacon burger anyway. And I was like, I can go in today and, part of my proceeds will go help. I think it's like the career center or something. Getting home late, I was kind of already like not feeling like I just kind of want to come home and put my take my pants off and be done for the day. But also, they took an early lunch at Parks and Rec, and we went and had breakfast at Mary Jane's. So I ate enough out there that I'm still not hungry. So it's kind of like, oh, well, I thought it was like, well, maybe by the end of the day I might be hungry. And I guess if I get hungry later, maybe, because I don't think it works when you DoorDash. Like you could put it in, maybe you could put in the comments section, the special instructions or whatever, say, I want my proceeds to go to the, because apparently you have to mention it. Because there was one day, I can't remember, it was I think something for the high school or something. They were for the band, for a trip or something. They were having a fundraiser, or maybe it was to get the cops, when the cops were, they were trying to do a fundraiser to get them the heart paddly things. I don't know. I believe that's what they call them in basketball. They're like, oh, where's the heart paddly things? Like George Clooney uses. But I don't know. But yeah, apparently you have to mention that, you want, I'm here for the fundraiser, whatever. And like I went there at like, it was like late afternoon. and I was the first person to mention it. So my meal was the first meal that went toward. They might have a lump sum that they give them anyway. They might donate. Wendy's themselves might donate money to whatever the cause is. You know, um, or see what the profits are for that day and kind of, give them a certain percentage or something. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's supposed to be like 30% of the sales from that day go to, or I mean maybe not from the day, but from the people who are participating in the fundraiser. But yeah, they told me that that I was the first person to mention it that day. And it was like late in the afternoon. It might have been like 3 or 4 o'clock. And it's like, I was the first person. Apparently mine was the first meal that was going toward this, Like I said, Wendy's themselves might donate a little bit of money just to make sure that they make something, there's some kind of profitability from them having the fundraiser or whatever. But yeah, like I'm still just not hungry. I don't know what time Wendy's closes, but I think it's supposed to be all day. So even if they're open until 1 o'clock in the morning, if I get hungry at like midnight, it's like, go get some food. Be like, hey, I'm donating to I want my purchase to go toward the fundraiser. But I'm not hungry right now. So, but yeah, I'm going out tomorrow with Mike for to do some Pokemoning. It's like wild area something. I don't know. It was like a ticket. You bought the ticket to get into the event, and it's kind of like, I don't really know that there's much ado about it, but I mean you can get some shinies, I guess. So maybe, possibly, potentially, and you're supposed to have a better chance, a better percentage of hatching the new thing out of the 10k eggs. But it's like you got to get 10k eggs, and then you only have a chance to hatch the thing out of it. I may have went on this rant recently, because there was like somebody in the group chat, the Facebook Messenger, the local Facebook Messenger group, Facebook chat chain, whatever. They were saying I think they like hatched like almost 20 eggs, and not a single one was the new fucking thing. One of the last times. It's like, you're not even guaranteed to get the new thing. I don't know. It's just a fucking shitty way to do it, but that's okay. But yeah, because I'm gonna go do the Pokemon walk with him tomorrow at 11. So I figure, while I'm out, whatever, I can go swing by Wendy's. That was kind of my original plan, and I thought, oh well, maybe I'll do it today to, participate in the fundraiser. But now it's like, I mean, I'm getting home late, yes, but that's not really the motivating factor. It's I'm not hungry at all. So it's like, this food doesn't even sound good at the moment. Had like a breakfast club sandwich and then a side order of bacon. So, and the club had like ham and an egg. I think it might have had bacon on it too. Lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise. I believe it was maybe Texas toast. It was like a thicker toast, whatever. It was good, but it's apparently very filling. It's like, I'm not thinking about food at all, but maybe a little drink. Just a little drink. Before I answer today's question. Excuse me. Which is, how do you typically celebrate Thanksgiving? We don't, really. We haven't for many a year, to be honest about it. Flip to the next page. There we go. There's the 23rd. I knew it had to be in there somewhere. I mean, we used to do, like, a big meal, whatever, but it was more so, like, when my grandparents were alive, and then the tradition kind of fell to the wayside since then. So, I mean, I'm kind of, at work last night, we had our big Thanksgiving dinner, which was they brought in a food truck, which was a taco truck. So we had tacos, because I guess they think that, like, oh, people they're gonna have Thanksgiving meals with their families, and they're gonna get tired of turkey, and they don't, but it's like people like me, who our families don't have the big meal or anything, like, I'm kind of missing out, I think my uncle always makes some kind of turkey, some kind of Thanksgiving meal for him and my Aunt Laura, and then I end up with a plate from that. Mom usually brings me some kind of plate from that, with a little bit of this and a little bit of that, um, but yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, I think there's some places locally, like a church. There's like a church or something. See, I don't know if it's for everybody, if anybody can get the meal, or if it's supposed to just be for, like, low income families or something. Because I think I saw somewhere on there where they'll make you a meal, like you can stop by and have Thanksgiving there, at the church, whatever, or you can get it to go, or they'll actually deliver it to you too. I'm like, well, deliver me. I should have asked, is like, oh, get me a Thanksgiving. I think it's free. I think they're just giving out these meals, giving to the community, whatever. So that's what I'm not sure if it's, I'm not sure if it's like for everybody, or or if it's supposed to be like low income, like, like all the homeless that we have around here. Though once it got cold, they kind of disappeared. I don't know where they all went, but they're still around, because we found two sleeping bags in the gazebo at Blind Boon Park. So they're still around somewhere. I just don't know. Maybe they're hanging out in the library or something. I don't know if the library allows them to, like, hang out inside. I don't know if the library would know that they were inside, even if they. I mean, there's a whole, like, group of them, I think. But, well, I think there's, like, I don't know if it's like the Crips and the Bloods. Like, there's like certain cliques of homeless people that hang out with each other, and then there's other, like, groups of homeless people that hang out with each other. Like, usually you see the same, like, group together, and then there's like a different group or a different couple people that hang out, or then they stop associating with each other or something. I don't know, maybe somebody stole somebody's weed, I don't know. Like, sleep with my girlfriend, but don't steal my weed. I don't know. I don't know their lives, to be honest. But I mean, maybe they're hanging out somewhere where it's warm. I don't know. They could be hanging out in that one church parking lot, because that might be the church that's giving out the free meals. But because there's one up in the middle of town, and they kind of have like a garage park, or a garage. What do you call that? It's kind of an enclosed area, an enclosed parking lot, parking garage, I guess. Is that what they call them? I guess. Start my weekend off good, I guess. It's low brain power. So they might be hanging out under there to stay out of the wind and whatnot. I don't know. Of course, I haven't been running trash either, so it's not like I've been around in the parks. Though we usually have, like, some kind of group that hangs out, because the shop is right there at Grover Park, and there's usually, like, a group of, like, 3 or 4 of them that hang out at the pavilion at the top of the hill. You can hear them yelling at each other. Like, I don't know if they're, like, fighting, or I don't know. I don't know what's going on. They're hooting and hollering for no reason. If they're just in some kind of drug-addled moment or something, I don't know. But I don't even think I've seen them hanging out very much, from what I can remember, But, so anyway, yes. Side note, sorry. Got distracted for a minute. But yeah, like we don't really, um, we don't really do the big meal because I mean there's not really. I mean, it's kind of hard to, get everybody together. I mean, usually families, I'm sure we're not the only family that understands that, you know, um, but, and it's like, making a big ass meal for just a couple people, like, isn't really worth it, but, so, I kind of miss out on that, but, and it's, I mean, I don't know how much. The stuffing. I really like stuffing. That's like my favorite thing. That's what I was saying last night with the taco truck. Like they should have had like a Thanksgiving burrito with like turkey and like stuffing, and instead of salsa they could have had like cranberry sauce. Like it'd been a fucking awesome like thing. Yeah, here's a Thanksgiving burrito. I would have fucking tried it. Chris, Firehouse Subs right now has some kind of Thanksgiving sub, which I tried it one time when Mom was here. One of those weekends Mom was here, and it was pretty good. Actually, it almost tasted better after it sat around for a couple days. But because I got a foot long, and I ate the other half of it later, a couple days later, and it almost tasted better, heated up. It was kind of weird, but that had stuffing in it, which is pretty good. But I mean, food is always good, Food is always good. But so I guess in the last couple years, oh shit, I didn't realize. Mom said that's when we would go on our we would do a little trip, and we would go to the little. There's a couple of sleeping bags. No, that was the last time. Festivals. There's a couple little festivals in a couple of these little towns that we would go to. I kind of remember going to these little towns. I think one of them is the one with like the biggest pecan or whatever. Even though apparently maybe it's not the world's biggest pecan, because apparently that's out somewhere in Kansas. I don't know. I don't know the war between the pecans. But last year when we went, there wasn't a whole lot going on during those festivals, So I don't know if Mom's going to want to do that. I don't know what our plans are this year. And, that was the question they asked me the other day. I still don't know what our plans are for Thanksgiving, what's going on next week, whatever. So I don't know if we're doing it on the weekend. I don't know if Mom and I are going somewhere. I don't know. But apparently that got to be our Thanksgiving tradition, kind of, in the last couple years. Like I said, I remember going to these towns, I remember going to these festivals, but I didn't realize it was during Thanksgiving when we would do that. Which, I mean, I guess it makes sense because it was kind of a little chilly during that time. So I don't know. It's just a blur, man. It's just one long blur. But anyway, that's that, I suppose. And cat. That's what Minx is. Hat. That's what I wear at Parks and Rec. Chat. I haven't done that yet, but I probably should at some point. It was a hearty meal, apparently, that I had at Mary Jane's this morning. So I'm still not hungry. But anyway. Blah, 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 blah. And I'll see you for what I say out.